There's a boy in there waiting for you.
Oh. Is it their secret boyfriend or the straight boy crush?
Hi. Hi.
It's Stuart. We're back with the review for Heartstoppers, the new Netflix TV show. Should you watch it? Shouldn't you watch it? Should you watch the show? Yes. There. Like, comment, subscribe. Go have a good day. It's genuine and it's pure. I binge watched the season. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a very cynical man. Very cynical. I do not like love stories. I do not like, and I just couldn't help but smile every episode of this show. Is it a good representation for the queer community? To an extent, yes it is. About two queer men, two queer boys, two queer young adults finding each other and love. Oh. Yeah. Now I'm sad. Okay, so it follows the story of Charlie Spring and Nick Nelson. And what happens is Nick is trying to come to terms with his sexuality, that he doesn't realize that he has to until he meets and befriends Charlie. Charlie is a boy who's previously been bullied and ousted in school and is being used by certain people throughout the season and is trying to come to terms with, like, you know, being comfortable enough in himself to let himself be loved openly. There are very interesting character dynamics throughout this whole show. There's a character, Tao, who is this great cisgender male. He's very open, very opinionated. Spoiler, he is also probably one of the most insecure characters throughout the whole season. It has some of the best kind of like comebacks, and it aggravates me to the point because, like, I have amazing comebacks, but I'm always late with my comebacks. Like, I always think of them like maybe 5 minutes afterwards or after I've left the room, and then I'm like, crap. By the way, sponsored by Rain today. Is Heartstoppers a good representation in the media for the queer community? Yes. This whole show's, you know, driving force has nothing to do with homophobia. It's there, it's inherent, and it's a part of character dynamics, especially Harry. Pratt. Played very well. You don't like Harry when he comes on screen, but it is not the whole premise of this show, people having to only deal with homophobic responses growing up in Britain? Yeah, Britain. Sorry, Brexit. People finding themselves, finding their community, finding their people, you know, and coming to terms with themselves, finding self-love. Homophobia is there. But unlike, let's say, the last, when I was growing up at least, decade of shows, it's not the major driving force behind a plot got to do with the queer community. What show didn't age well? Who remembers Glee? Glee. Yeah, I always say, you know, I came out at 23. But now I'm saying I came out at 23, but I'm pretty sure I knew at 16. I wouldn't allow myself to accept the idea that I could possibly be attracted to both men and women. Severely, you know, like bullied in school, a lot of homophobia. It's still here. Sorry, tangent, back to Glee. The character played by Darren Criss. Blaine.
Thought I was, but I've never even had a boyfriend before.
Darren has a fling with another character. Says to his friend, you know, maybe I'm bi, maybe I like both, and I just haven't experimented enough.
Isn't this the time you're supposed to figure stuff out?
I can't believe that I'm hearing this right now.
I'm bi, I don't know.
Bisexual is a term that gay guys in high school use when they want to hold hands with girls and feel like a normal person for a change.
The bisexual community is usually the butt end of a joke for this. You're just sex craved, and you're just calling yourself bi because you're not comfortable to come out as gay yet. For like people trying to find themselves, that is a detrimental kind of comment. Like, there's a lot of internalized battles sometimes to come to terms with your sexuality. It's a mental obstacle in itself. A lot of the queer community face so much more bullying and harassment and mental anguish. I just realized it was turned off. Yeah, you live in Ireland. We're apparently one of the most equal. We're apparently one of the better countries for equality. This show deals with Nick trying to come to terms with his sexuality, but more so accepting himself straight off. Olivia Colman, who plays his mother, owns every scene. She's an absolute legend. Her nuances were perfect, and she breaks my heart at the very end. Spoiler. Oh, hello. Queer people are bullied more than people outside of the LGBTQ community, and it has a lot of damage to one's mental health. Never forget that. Elle is amazing. Hi, there's a character called Elle. She's a trans woman, and her whole... Get back on screen. And her whole character dynamic is not based around the fact she's trans. This is just a girl going through like the everyday life in an all-girls school. She is trying to make friends. She is trying to come up with like reasons why she likes a person. Not going to say who because it's going to spoil it. And there is all these factors going on with her just being herself. Elle was probably the most emotionally mature of all the characters in this TV show. Always go back to like archetypes and Joseph Campbell's hero's journey. She is definitely the mage. She is filled with so much emotional depth that she allows people to try and process what they're going through, but she gives them a helping hand along the way. She's essentially like what holds the friendships together. And actually, as we're talking about Elle in the new girls' school, let's talk about her friends Tara and Darcy. They kind of fell for each other in a music room, and they always go back there. That's like their safe haven. In secret dates. It's cute. What I really like about this is the fact that even though, you know, we have Nick and Charlie who are meant to be the main, it does not detract from these two and their own love story. They are... what they have to deal with for maybe 4 or 5 episodes is the aspect of social media compared to when Nick and Charlie have to deal with in-person conflicts with all of Nick's rugby mates. These two deal a lot with not only the schoolgirls' snide comments behind their back, but a lot of stuff online. You don't look like you would be a lesbian, I could change you. And a lot of these things that more so women face in everyday life. There is like statistics on women face so much more harassment than men, but especially in the queer community, there's a lot more self-harm. And there was points between these two in their relationship and what they were facing and the obstacles they had to overcome in terms of school and online, that you could tell that one of them was spiraling. But luckily, they had a good support system. Everyone is so emotionally... most characters are so emotionally aware. They sit with their feelings. They let them process. They don't get so worked up and aggravated and upset, which is usually what happens. So to allow yourself to sit with like a situation to try and process it is a very mature thing to do, and a lot of these characters are actually very self-aware. We should be more empathetic towards everyone else, not just in the community, just in general. It is the typically coming of age love story. Where you know you have one character who's an outcast, you have their friends, you have the what would it be in the hero's journey, Joseph Campbell's hero's journey? You have the knight, who is, let's say Nick in this case, who comes in and you realize there's an attraction, you know there's obstacles that they have to overcome, but in this show they do it together. It's very obvious where like a plot is going to go in an episode, but you just can't stop watching and it just tugs at the heartstrings. Overall, it's just a positive message for the LGBTQIA community. I'd give it, overall though, like because I'm a cynical dark man, but I've heard stuff about like the other books and I want it to get darker. Let's rephrase that so I don't sound like an absolute psychopath. I want to see it tackle more issues. That's got to do with, you know, depression, dark thoughts, eating disorders. It's a fact that this happens to so many of us and we suffer in silence. To have a show that is trying to put a positive outlook on, you know, how you can come over adversity, you can still find love, you can find self-love. Just how emotionally mature Nick is, and I guess how he deals with like his whole coming to terms with his sexuality in such a mature way. Nick sits down with Imogen and, you know, she likes him and she's kind of pissed with the fact that he doesn't seem to reciprocate the feelings, and he kind of comes out with the fact that he's trying to find himself He's trying to find who he truly is, because there is something there that he didn't realize, and he needs to come to terms with it. This is a point in the show where, like, if they wanted drama, they would have had Imogen out Nick to everyone. They didn't. They just have her understand. And that's something that a lot of us fear we will not get. We will not get understanding from our friends, from our family, from people in our community. No, I'm covering Charlie, that's okay. This was an absolute ramble of a bloody review. I liked the show. I did like the show. Would I suggest watching it? Please do. If you want, like, comment, subscribe, just press all the buttons. We hit 20 freaking 5K on YouTube. Like, holy crap, thank you very much. And, you know, hopefully we can make more videos. Peace. Have a good day. Stop saying I can't even I can't stop smiling even thinking of it.
Said, son, you'll remember this day for the rest of your life. I think he's right. Mom said, now you've got something new to write about tonight. I think she's right.